All right, boxing fans, this is the debate that just won't die. Carl Froch versus Joe Calzaghe. Two British legends, two completely different styles. But only one winner, at least according to Eddie Hearn, who just dropped his honest verdict on who takes it in a fantasy matchup. Let's rewind the clock, look at the careers of both men, and dive into Eddie's brutally honest take, including why he thinks Carl Froch would fight you for 5 pence if it came to it. Joe Calzaghe, the Welsh wizard, 46-0, undefeated. The longest reigning super-middleweight world champion in history. He made defenses for over a decade, 20 times. And when he finally stepped up to light heavyweight, he beat Bernard Hopkins and Roy Jones Jr. Not bad for a volume puncher with slick footwork, huh? Then there's Carl Froch, known as the Cobra. From 2002 to 2014, Froch was a nightmare in the ring. Tough as nails, never backed down. He held the WBC, WBA, and IBF belts, and retired after back-to-back wins over George Groves, one of which filled Wembley Stadium. 2 icons, 1 fantasy fight. And yes, the fans still argue about who would have won. Eddie Hearn, who promoted Froch during his career, just jumped into the debate. And surprise, surprise, he's Team Froch. I would never back against Carl, Hearn said during a chat with Box Nation. Why? Because, in Eddie's words, he was the most stubborn, tightest boctard. I love Carl Froch. He would scrap with you for a 5-penny piece on the floor. Now that is a promoter who's seen his fighter up close. Froch had grit. He had heart. And if you ever watched him go toe-to-toe with the likes of Kessler or Groves, you know he wasn't just tough. He was relentless. Even with all that admiration, Eddie kept it real. He admitted, Joe Calzaghe would have been a terrible style for Froch. Let's be honest, Froch was a warrior, but not the slickest guy in the ring. Calzaghe's angles, speed, and volume could have made life miserable for him. It's the classic clash. Boxer versus brawler. Technician versus tough guy. Could Froch drag Calzaghe into a war? Or would Joe just rack up points and make Froch swing at shadows? That's the debate. And while Eddie leans Froch, Frank Warren, Calzaghe's longtime promoter, says Joe would have schooled him. At the end of the day, we'll never know. But here's what we do know. Both Calzaghe and Froch are all-time British greats. One had silky skills, the other had iron fists, and even tougher guts. And while Eddie Hearn says he'd never bet against Froch, even he knows Joe Calzaghe was no easy puzzle to solve. So now it's your turn. Who do you back? The unbeaten Welsh wizard? Or the Cobra with a chip on his shoulder and fists like bricks? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more legendary boxing debates. Until next time, keep your guard up and stay sharp.